Sagat is the one who has Tiger on all of his attack names but one. For some reason. Whoop. Well, sometimes you toss a coin and the coin gets tossed. She calls her daughter? I'm sure that that is a sensible reply to something I said, but I have completely... Oh, okay, that's the Viper's post-match thing. She calls her daughter. Is that what you're saying? I don't know much SF lore. Okay, thank you. Huh. Alright, Viper initiates... No, wait, hold on. Viper mulligans! Beg your pardon. It's an important distinction there. Alright, yeah, Sagat goes first. So, Sagat's ability is when he initiates, he can set his attack face up for +1 speed. Viper's ability is when she boosts, she can strike. Sagat prepares. Viper has options. Both these characters are interesting. I mean, I actually find Sagat pretty boring to play, because Sagat is essentially about safety. He's a zoner who wants to push you at range, keep you at range, and then punish you on your way in. And if you get to range, one in particular, he has significant punishments. They're short-lived. I mean, it's still generally better to be close than far. Alright, I think she's lagging a bit, but yeah, she boosts hidden weapons to draw 2 cards, add that to her gauge. It's sort of a more aggressive form of key charge, which is just sort of a Street Fighter boost that a bunch of characters have that says add this card to your gauge. No EX Tiger Shot, I know, right? Continuous boost, not just boosts. Yes, pardon. If I said boost, my mistake. It's after you resolve a continuous boost, which is important. But yeah, so Sagat is essentially about safety. Here we go. Face up Tiger Shot, speed 5 at range 4. She can't outspeed it except with, across an EX Assault, which would still get hit, or an EX Critical Seismic whatever. So, the opponent must discard a card. Oh, it's not critical, excuse me, it's not critical. So it's just push 1. He doesn't have a card in his discard pile, which makes this, not optimal, or rather it's not maximal. It might be optimal, who knows. And then he draws a card. But it creates more range, which is something Sagat always wants. So, that's good. Sagat, along with Guile, I think, are the only Street Fighter characters who have range 3 to 8 projectiles, meaning they can be as far away as they want. And they'll still have something that'll hit you. Sagat, however, can reuse his 3 to 8 projectile, and Guile cannot. She's taking the move action to move back to range 3, her favored range. Arguably. 2 or 3. Probably 2, honestly. But 3 is also good. Range 3 is also good for Sagat. It's probably better for him than for her, actually. He's striking face down? I'm disappointed. Very disappointed. Although, admittedly, it's not as valuable, or rather, it is... Oh, there you go, face up. Face up dive, speed 5. So, like, it's not as... It is important for him to set things face up when he wants the speed. It is less valuable than for one of the other face up attackers, Yaquis, who is from Season 2. Yaquis gains +2 power when he sets face up, meaning he wins harder. Sagat doesn't win any harder, he just wins more of the time. Like, he's likelier to win. Viper boosts and also strikes with a critical... this could be a very spicy Temple Massage. But she doesn't have enough to fuel it, so I'm not really sure. Thunder Knuckle feels like a waste of resources at this point. Sagat Wild swings, loses the speed tie. It is Temple Massage. Um, so she draws 3, and then she can spend, and she probably should spend all for the payout. This does put her low on hand though, which is kind of an issue. Like, the fact that she had to actually spend a card for the crit means that she won't be at 3 gauge, so that she doesn't get her reload. Because when she exceeds, she gets a reload of draw 5 cards, like immediately. So, yeah, like, ideally, she wants to have 3 gauge after she does whatever it is that she's doing that burns her entire hands. So it looks like she's being more conservative than typical. She can spend up to 4. Right now she has power 5. So she spent 1. Leaving it at that. Interesting. Well, I hope the cards still in her hand are decent. Viper does need to exceed in most games. The ability to trigger her crits without spinning gauge is extremely valuable. And the one-off reload is a good tempo surge. It is Sagat's initiative. He does have horrifying things he can do at range 1. If he happens to have Tiger Uppercut in hand, he can boost with Intimidation, I believe it's called. Which says, if you're at range 1, if the opponent is at range 1, they must discard 2 cards at random and then you strike. Instead, he is boosting Quick Backdash. A few zoners have this. He does, and Bison does. Retreat 2, if you're at range 3, take another action. He strikes with Sweep face down. Discards one of the cards, and Viper elects to spin the other as force, evidently. So we'll take 2 damage, evidently. Yeah. And now she will exceed to get that reload, and have some sweet, sweet cards in hand. This is eminently sensible. Yep, when you exceed, draw 5, and then she draws for end of turn. There it is. So after she continues, she may strike if she does her attack is critical. So she can now critical without spinning gauge. Her criticals are very high value. Their effects are all excellent. Here's like, look at the reference card. So, she gains advantage on Burning Kick. It also inflicts -2 power, which is nice if the opponent played something that'll trade back. +3 speed on Seismic Hammer obviously makes it a dramatically more viable card. Massage gets to hit draw 3, which is, again, marvelous because she needs tempo. And Thunder Knuckle gains Ignore Guard, which is obviously just stupid good. Like, alright, Sagat plays face up Tiger Destruction. It is speed 6, power 7. This'll hurt. Alright, Viper loses the speed tie. Sagat hits for 7. Well, that's Tiger Destruction for you. Normally, Sagat will exceed instead of mashing that Ultra at that position, but I think it's pretty reasonable for him to play it here. Like, she's about to have a good amount of power coming at him. Taking advantage of that opportunity before she gets to initiate with her whole hands, that seems reasonable. Plus, you know, 7 damage hit. You do mash that? Yep, I don't doubt it. Alright, she boosts Armor Guard. She elects not to strike. That decision of not striking is something I've seen Viper refrain from doing all too often. Sagat strikes face down. So disappointed. Although probably even more disappointing if it was face up, considering. That's invalid. Okay, fair's fair. They both take, well actually, she'll trade up because she has 1 armor from that boost. That's pity. That's a very good card. Sagat also now has the exceed, or now has the gauge to exceed, which will almost certainly do at his first opportunity, because it allows him to retreat and also draw up. Of course, retreating does put him back into her favored range, but I'd say generally he values it more than she does. Maybe not, though. Alright, she's boosting and striking. She has to spend a force for that. There it is. 1 armor, 5 guard. Okay, so, in effect, she's saying, you won't stun me. Assault is probably the optimal. Yep, there it is. Ha! Tiger Knee is the... Oh, it only has 4 guard. Never mind, that'll stun. Normally, this is the hard counter to Assault, since it takes advantage back after it gets hit. Yeah. Yeah. They almost didn't catch that. Yeah, so she draws 3, takes another action, but Sagat has +3 power. Of course, she can tech that boost, or she can play another boost and then strike, and as long as she's confident she'll win the strike, she doesn't have anything to fear. She wins the speed tie, she hits for 4. Gains advantage again. That was risky, playing the Assault there. Or at least I assume it is. I haven't looked through his discard pile. She has to be gauged now. That means one of her ultras is online. Yeah, Sagat is really suffering for the resource deficit here. She's boosting, and does she strike? She sure does. Plus some power and ignore armor. One of her least valuable boosts, honestly. But it's also a mediocre attack. Alright, she hits for 4 with Thunder Knuckle. So she gets to do... What was that null? 5, 9... So she did 12 free damage there. Let's see if Sagat can bring this back. I know one reading this stat. I must have missed the other one. No ult threat. Well, now she's at 4, so she has the threat of the other one, but she has to have a boost in play to play it. And it's hard to use. Yeah. So Sagat gets his reload. Draw 2 and retreat up to 2. She preps. That is risky. With the cards that we've seen drop on her side, I would definitely have closed in. Then again, I don't think we've seen a Tiger Uppercut from him, which is a very scary close range move. Alright, he has preemptive strike, or no, sorry, that's swift destruction. +4 speed, good boost. Really good boost. Yeah, she gets into his face so that he can't threaten Spike. Although, he might have lost all his spikes anyway. He moves to range. Continuing to threaten Spike. I know he dropped 1 spike, I don't know if he dropped the other. If she's out of dives, might be a time to reshuffle. Well, no. Not right now. Getting closer and then reshuffling is better. Because, yeah, like, she can play footsies forever, but if she's not going to draw anything to get rid of that boost, eventually he'll land something very painful on her. Let's see. +3 armor, +1 guard, and strike. Well, I mean, if she gets spiked, she gets spiked, right? What's the worst that could happen? Letting him initiate won't help. Low Tiger shot at speed 6. Okay, so she loses the speed tie. Or, no, sorry, not speed tie. She is 1 slower. She mitigates the damage. He pushes her, and that's where it's about to get ugly. He recurs it to the top of his deck. Now it's his turn. Yep. Or does he? Okay, critical strike. Face up, that is power 7, speed 3. She did not critical? She could have critical. Huh. So if that was the last card in her deck, she should have known what it was. Chosen to critical, and then move in to avoid him. Whether or not they revert this... Okay. No, they're keeping the play. Alright, well, then she probably loses the game. All she can do here is spin 4 force to advance, essentially. Oh, 3 or 4. There we go. She will reshuffle. Face up. Grasp, that is speed 8, power 4. Well, does she have any armor? Nope. That is game.